Until Then is a visual novel with a charming art style, an overwhelmingly positive rating on Steam, and reviewers who praise it for its emotional story. That alone makes it a great game. What really got me to love this game was the fact that it's set in Metro Manila. That's where I live, and it's made by people who live where I live. This made it so surreal to play the game the whole time I was there. So basically, I'm gonna go through some scenes, play a bit of GeoGuessr magic with them, and just have fun exploring the game's locations. It's also mostly a spoiler-free video. These are like trailer level spoilers. Now 10 minutes into the game, you'll notice you're already at the first location, the Metro Station. Now, unlike most other locations in this game which are amalgamations of real places and don't actually exist in real life, this area is an almost exact one-to-one recreation of a real place. In fact, here it is. Look, here's that bus stop where you enter the scene, here's that blue gate, and roughly here. Here is where you lie to Luis about making those slides. Entering the station now, the food stalls are missing. They're replaced by this big Philippine flag. However, rewind the clock a bit on Google Maps and hey look, here they are! 2 stalls, a siomai and a pizza stand. Heading down the 2 flights of stairs, you'll notice these near identical ticket machines along with a customer help booth. The really observant among you will notice that Mark goes to the Bonifacio station, while in real life it's called the Katipunan station. Actually a neat reference because Bonifacio was the leader of the Philippine independence movement called the Katipunan. This also lets us theorize a little on where Liamzon actually is. In real life, the next stopover from Katipunan is just a kilometer away, and there's no way they'd be on the train for that long. I personally believe speculation like this it's a little pointless because it's meant to be an amalgamation, but just for fun, I think Liamzon safely exists somewhere here, in the south of real-life Quezon City. Onto the school itself, this is one where there's definitely no real-life analog, but there is a bit of speculation on what schools it could be based on. A segment of people on TikTok believe that it's University of San Carlos Talamban in Cebu. After looking at the footage of it, I do see that there is a tall set of buildings painted yellow, there's a courtyard in the middle, but yeah, it's not quite that either. It is pretty close though. This GameSpot article says that it's based off the school that the head developer went to, Rizal National High School. And yeah, while it's not painted yellow, there is this big basketball court in the middle, just like the school we see in Liamzon, and the architecture is pretty similar. This could be one of the correct answers. Regardless, the game did a pretty good job of nailing the look of a Filipino school. A well-funded one, of course. They do make reference to how this is a private school with a probably high tuition. Side note, the education system here, it's really broken. I'm not gonna get into it, but we're consistently ranked as one of the least educated countries in Southeast Asia, especially when it comes to reading comprehension, math, and science. It's really this whole thing. But hey, I'm glad Mark gets to go to a school that works and has TVs in every classroom apparently. Just every detail here besides the TVs seems to scream Filipino in some indescribable way. As a little aside, at the end of chapter 1 is this 7-Eleven, and look, here it is. In fact, it's the closest 7-Eleven to where the head developer went to school. It took me a while to find this because I got misled by some commenters who went to INHS, which led me to realize, oh yeah, Imus National High School really does look like Liamzon integrated. Hey, editing me here. So 10 minutes before the video was supposed to go up, I just googled it and apparently it's just the DepEd mandated school design. They're everywhere. I am so stupid. Which led me through searching every 7-Eleven within the Imus area, only to later find out the correct comment pointing me towards the actual correct location this time. I think that it's really cool that the developer of the game wanted to pay homage to their 7-Eleven, except for the fact that this place did not exist in 2014. Ha, take that! The next interesting, definitely Pinoy location you go to is this fair, and man, I really do love this fair. Thanks to Reddit user Leonardo, by the way, for reference and inspiration for this part of the video. Most of the time you spend here is playing the carnival minigames. All I can say is they are pretty accurate to what you'd find at one of these events. The balloon popping, the pretty confusing looking coin toss minigame, and the bingo stand are all modeled so well in this game. This goes for the stands that you only really get to see in the background too. There's also a haunted house minigame where you get to compete with your friend Nicole over who can scare the most people. If you win, you get the achievement Boy Tikbalang. Tikbalang, by the way, scary guy with a horse head. He's like our second most popular cryptid. It's also probably a reference to Boy Bawang, a B-tier, crunchy Filipino snack. The dartboard and cup shuffling minigames though, I haven't really seen them much. I guess they were just included because everybody already knows what they are. The fair also has the best rides. A personal favorite one of mine is the Vikings ride that appears in the background. Here is also an example of the Ferris wheel that the cast keeps calling rickety and unsafe, and yeah, it does feel and look like that exactly in real life, but as far as I could tell, nobody's died from it yet. The fair has also some of the best food. It's got siomai and fish balls, and you get to drink gulaman with Kathy again. It's a common drink here, but I can't really describe what it tastes like other than it's sweet and refreshing. The bit about waking you up, probably not true. I feel like every time I've had gulaman, I've actually gotten just a bit sleepier. These fairs have actually gotten a decline in popularity recently. They are a source of entertainment after all, and according to this article, they've just been outcompeted by malls, amusement parks, and internet shops. Overall, I feel like I really like this area. It's generally a faithful recreation of a place that is cool but kind of dying. Really adds to the fact that this game is a bit of a period piece of the 2010s. Next, we got this mall. This is honestly one of my favorite parts of the whole game because you get to spend time with Kathy, the undisputed best character in this whole game. A bit about malls though, because it's so hot in Manila all the time, and when it isn't hot, it's raining, malls are just the place to hang out because they always have air conditioning. Hey, editing me here, I debated leaving this part out, but it's really more than just a heat thing. It's actually a combination of a lack of green spaces and car-centric infrastructure that makes Metro Manila one of the least walkable cities in the entire world. They're a really big thing here. Now, in order to find the Until Then Mall, I'm gonna go over to Wikipedia, which yeah, I know, it's Wikipedia, but it actually has a pretty helpful way of categorizing malls. They basically break it down into 6 categories. There's these really big ones. These are some of the largest ones, not in the country, but in the entire world. There's also these open-air, upscale, sometimes gimmicky ones they call lifestyle malls. Like, the example of this is the one that they modeled after Venice that has its own canal. There's strip malls, there's so-called bargain malls. And finally, there's the one that the Until Then Mall definitely is. It's the community mall. It's basically a standard one, but Wikipedia defines it as a mall that is built in a residential area that typically caters to basic needs. After looking at a lot of walking tour footage, I guess the closest analog that I could find here is SM Marikina. It's got the high vantage point, a similar looking entrance, and it's quite close to those previously mentioned headcanon borders that I drew around the Katipunan Station earlier. However, honestly, the game does such a great job of making this place look like the exact in-between of every single one of the 86 listed community malls. It could conceivably exist anywhere, and that's what I love about it. In this mall, you pass by a lot of stores. You'll notice here that the stores have their name plus this small alphabet below them. This alphabet is Baybayin, a pre-colonial alphabet used in the Philippines. It's not widely used in the Philippines to actually write, but apparently it's used for aesthetic reasons. It's sometimes on art, tattoos, and banknotes. This completely flew over my head during my first playthrough, but after doing some digging, I found this Reddit post that goes into detail about the store names and taglines. This arts and crafts store is apparently a parody of Day of Year and has this tagline that I still don't get even after it was explained to me. I think it means only for looking. The Angry Jollibee parody that they have here just has a tagline that just translates roughly to "Eat, child." Suplada is apparently a parody of Maldita, with this tagline, which is a Cebuano phrase that carries the same meaning as "whatever you say, man," though not exactly. I think somebody might kill me over that translation. Copicol has the tagline "Kape ni Micol," the head developer of the game. What's really funny though is the stores that you run to outside of the mall earlier into the game. This burger place, a parody of Angel's Burger, has this tagline: "Unang kagat, tinapay lahat," or "First bite, it's all bread," which is a joke about how Angel's Burgers are all bread and no patty. Benedict Drugstore, a parody of Generica Drugstore, has this tagline: "Pre, may gamot dito," or "Bro, there's medicine here." I think that's pretty funny. The first thing you do in this mall is go to the thrift store, which eliminates SM Marikina as an exact analog because it doesn't have a thrift store. I don't go thrifting, but the only comment I can make here is that the suit that Mark eventually wears to prom is from that big box that's just one big unfolded pile of clothes. After exhausting all possibilities seen in the thrift store, you head to Time Dome, the obvious time zone parody, with the tagline "Game Time." Pretty self-explanatory. Then you go to the confusingly named Flower Power and Flour Power, entering the second one to buy some cookies for your friend Nicole. Overall, really like this mall. It's packed with some neat references that makes it look like a mall that I could just go to right now, or a mall that I've already been to and I'm struggling to place where exactly I've been to and it's in my memory. Overall, 10 out of 10 mall. Okay, so Hilltop Cafe. This is where your hipster friend Adele has this hidden gem coffee place that he wants you to hang out in. Now, the one Reddit thread I found where they discuss where Hilltop might be, they speculate that it could be in Antipolo or Baguio. These locations make sense. Antipolo is a mountainous region directly east of the capital, and Baguio is a popular local tourist destination for people who like the mountains and chilly weather. What people missed is this map showing that Hilltop Cafe is actually somewhere here. I thought that was odd at first because it's a mountainous cafe so close to the coast. So I went over there on maps, and yeah, the circled area is the coast of Taytay and Taguig. Quick turn over to the elevation map reveals some mountains with cafes in them. I did a quick search through and whoa, I didn't know these places existed. Here they are. All hilltop cafes with beautiful views of the capital. I did a search through every cafe in this area and really couldn't find an exact match. But hey, look at these views. You know what's crazy though? All of these cafes, the closest matches I found to Hilltop Cafe, they were all really near the town of... Holy crap, it's Binangonan again. What the hell? The same town where I found the school, the 7-Eleven, it's where the head developer grew up, and half of my job is stalking Micol. I truly love this game. Anyways guys, that's it for the video. This is already the longest creative project I've ever worked on, so thanks for sticking around if you're around for this long. Bye guys.